Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment you made?
I thought the comment on varsity.
Run Ryan.
And everything. You have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
No way. What grade?
That one had to go.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Nico, JP, Phil, what are you saying, fellas? Earlier, I've been on the set this season getting real draining. It getting taxing, you know?
Getting?
Yeah. I mean, some people have different patience levels. Let me put it like that, right? So for me, it while you know you might have had your limit, reach your limit, it gets into me, you know, and it might vary for different people. So that's what I mean, you know. Today, I think if we honest with ourselves, right, we know that you know today would have been a lot of rotations. You know, we would have expected the manager to rotate the team, you know, because Leon is where the focus and the priority is because that is our route to European football next season. So we would expect the rotation, right? But the manner in which we lost, and I think who made mention of that, boy? I don't know if it's Roy Keane, is how you lose is what is, you know, and these are professional players. So when you're seeing that is 4 goals that we consider as a result of 4 individual errors is what annoying, right? And on top of that now, I feel as though the dagger, you know, in the side was that Xerxes injury, boy. That one affect me, boy. You know, because I mean, when you look at the team play, he's the one that just gave the little joy, the little entertainment when you're watching. You know, he just actually see the quality when he playing. You know, and then all right, so perhaps he's not the best, but when you watch who's the other alternative, it's nothing. So these are the things that, you know, making it so difficult to support Man United this season. And I guess we'll get into to more of the talking points today, you know. But what we saying, fellas, Nico, JP, Phil, what we saying?
We can move on and talk about Leon's second leg by now. Hey, I guess today the Newcastle side was too competitive for our team. You know that midfield alone was too much. They blow us off the park. If you consider about our team, as much as we would have made individual errors that led to goals, I think the amount of work we had to put in today to even look like we played football, I think they blew us off the park. You know, today. That was my feeling after the game. You know, they deserved it. That are well, and a big part of again are going with the midfield. You know, their midfield. I think they just overrun our midfield from start to finish, and I think that is what won them the game. The work in that midfield, and I just tried to for the second leg. You know, ready for the second leg to see what's gonna happen again. Yeah.
Phil?
Yeah. Mistakes happen because there's no leadership. There was no leadership in our back 3 or back 5, if you want to call it. There was no leadership, or there was just a captain in midfield, and then at the end of the day, we have players who are experienced at winning it all, but there's a difference between a player who's won it all and a leader, right? And that's the reason why the mistakes happen today, right? I did call for Bayander to start. Let's just say he wasn't terrible. That's the words I would use. One silly mistake, and you're kind of wondering, well, this is the same shit we had to put up with Onana. We got to put it up with you as well. One silly mistake, and I almost got asked the question: what's on Newcastle's ground that the Newcastle players aren't slipping, but our players are? Change your shoes. You have to change your shoes, brother. Dalo, Mazrari, gotta change your shoes. But
And in the same area,
exactly, right? Um, I think I was expecting a beating. Don't get me wrong. But what hurt me the most is Jay-Z went off. That really put a dampening in my entire day. Cause going from one of the players being booed to now one of our most exciting players to see on the pitch, now out for the rest of the season. And I can only hope and pray that, let's say we do get past Leon, that hopefully, just hopefully, Ahmad Diallo can make some sort of appearance before the end of the season. Some sort. Do we have to drag it all the way to the semifinals for Ahmad to make an appearance? If so, let's do it. Because I literally do not look forward to watching anybody in this team anymore, bruv. None. So my tone for tonight will be totally different from Thursday because it's the Premier League and we have nothing to play for in the Premier League. But come Thursday night, you may see either the same Phil here now or a different Phil. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
Yeah. And before JP jump in, um, Amorim don't really, you don't really get much reaction out of Amorim on the sideline. And I don't know if anybody's going to mention it, right? But it's shocking when Xerxes went down. Amorim holy head. Of all the players that got injured, when Xerxes went down today, Amorim holy head. Go through JP.
Um, I felt about the same and all that. I think I gonna start to watch professional curling or something, but because I can't make with this Manchester United team. And I want to start off by disagreeing with something Phil finished with there, that the league dead and have nothing to play for because you have pride to play for first and foremost. If we lost this game 2-1 fighting, I could stomach that. But we Newcastle play first half in first gear and second half in second gear and destroy us easily, right? And then the next thing is football is about confidence and momentum. What going on happen on Thursday that we just going to magically turn around our form since the international break? And who going to start to ask some remedy question as to why you changed up things so much that was working before the international break? Because we ain't win our game since the international break and it is the fourth game. We lose 2 games and we draw 2 games. So what going on? Why he change it up? Why he not realizing it now working? Why we not adapting? Why after 6 months we still asking the same questions about if it's the system, if it's the players? I just reached the point where it's like it's real heavy. This club just heavy because it's have other teams who hire managers and within 2 3 months you see something taking place. I I I I am not willing to sit down and take the excuse that the players not good enough.
Not
I
JP.
know
Them
we
players are
went
good enough. JP, them players are good.
no, I know
JP,
when to take them good.
JP, them players not good.
The
What
players probably
what's
not good enough
Lindelof? What's
they're
Bayern
probably not
there?
good enough for what Amram trying to get them to do. And the next thing I was coming to with that is we know Lindelof not gonna be there next season. We know Ericsson not gonna be there next season. Forget them fellas. Play Coney, bring up Coney and let Coney play if you so want to play a midfielder. What's
Them
the
fellas, if you
point
say
in
they're getting paid,
persisting?
you say that we paying all you, like, go there
As
and
much
play.
Yeah, but
as much as I
to do
agree,
what?
I agree. I
To do
agree with
what?
JP. I agree with JP in terms of when JP said at the beginning, the players have to play for pride, right? Now, the word pride comes from to be proud. I gotta ask you guys, are you proud of what Manchester United has been doing this season? I'm not.
No.
I'm not. But JP, these players have down tools for at least a good 3-4 months now, buddy. At
Yeah, but
least three,
how
4
much
months.
times they will do that? This you see, this is the thing. The only we come in and repeat in this
Full
cycle
circle,
Yeah,
over
eh?
full
and over
circle, full
because we come in
circle,
and
full circle.
yeah, so we come in and we saying the same thing again. That players
How much?
down tools.
How much more? How much more games in the Premier League we got?
But I don't think it's that. I don't think down. I don't think them players down
Yeah,
tools.
Say again,
I don't
them
think
players,
so.
they're just
Nicholas.
not good. They're just not good.
How many
But
more
Nico,
games in the Premier League season we got?
you don't feel
Six,
we're talking six
We
six.
more
got six.
games.
Or
Six
we got
more games.
four.
You don't feel it's six more, yeah. It's two
Oh,
games.
6 more.
I don't feel we still at a place where we might need to question if the system working, if it's suited for the Premier League, if Amram not supposed to do something to get more out of the players and not just persist with what he wants and try and make it work, because I starting to feel like that those questions have to be asked.
So,
Because the
the
wing
only
backs, because the wing backs in the team supposed to be real important in terms of attacking. But all the wing backs in this team doing so far is making our back five. So we play with our back five and then men struggling to get forward. I watching Amas today. Amas was able to make one run alone forward today, really, you know. Other
yeah,
than that,
yeah,
he
he was
was
under
operating
pressure.
at
He
like
was
that.
under pressure.
So where's the point of the system if the wing backs who's supposed to be so important to the system going forward not being allowed to go forward enough? Because anytime we play a good team, we starting with our back five. Anytime we play a good team, that's how we start with our back five. We're not playing front foot football. We're not playing possession-based football, and that's very important to this wing-back system too. So what we doing? I think we have a lot of questions, and not just the players have to ask themselves questions. He himself had to start to look at what he doing and wonder if it working. Because what my biggest concern is, we have to sign specialist players for the system, right? Because we have specialist tens, we have specialist wing backs for the system to suit Amarim. And on top of that, we're going to still have players who play today in the team going forward. And suppose now, because I started to think ahead, suppose now in December we sign 5, 6 players for Amarim to suit his system, specialist wing back, specialist tens. I don't work. And we're gonna bring our next match, right? What we gonna do? Bring somebody who want to try and we're gonna find somebody who play in Amarim system, right? Because we are these specialist players in specialist positions who have to work in this system that he trying to adopt. So this is where my mind starting to go now watching this team play. It bringing real questions and real concerns.
Boy, a numb boy.
Yeah,
This season,
the only
this season,
But
the,
but go ahead, Nico.
no, the only thing to that is, like, let me say today's game was a lot of individual errors
Mm-hmm.
more than the system now. So and I get what you're saying, and I agree, because you don't want to bring in players who could only fit a system. Um, Hopefully we bring in quality players who could suit any system. Um, but I still think it is individual errors that costing us more than team play. And I know when we talk about general team play,
Yeah.
playing on the front foot, possession football, if we really want to play with the wing backs, we're supposed to be possessing the ball better. It had some games I saw where we improving in that. Yeah, let's see where it go, but yeah, let's see where it go. You
Uh,
remember
uh,
what this is, man?
yeah,
Uh,
I was, and just a point JP made too in terms of the system, right? And I realize a lot more teams. I don't know if you all notice, but a lot more teams toying with a 3-3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1. I see in it now. You know, a lot more teams in the Premier League, even in Europe, using that formation. So probably we might be onto something, right? And it's really personnel. Now, the point to make with the wing backs, I I really don't know how much of. All right, let me put it like this, right? When you look at a lot of teams now in the attacking formation, most teams that have two defenders back and everybody else in attacking spaces, right? And I just see that with us when we are attacking, right? My issue with us is that the team do have the level of cohesion that you would expect from a top club like Manchester United. That is one. Two, our ability to hold on to the football is not at an acceptable standard at all. We are easily pressed off the ball. Look at today. Just to try to build our ball out of the back. And was pressure.
well, pressure.
Right?
Yeah.
You have Ugarte giving away the ball. You have Lindelof giving away the ball, and it's
And it looks like
needless.
he's panicking. He just panicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
needless bad passes. You understand? And we always choosing options back. And sometimes I can't fault the fellas for going back. You know why? Because the players in the half spaces cannot receive the ball. Because it's just the ball just can be coming back down and teams figuring that out. So maybe Nico might be onto something when he's saying the players not good, JP, because I don't
No, I know the players are
understand.
good.
I don't understand why it is we cannot hold on to the ball and move the ball up the pitch. I am seeing Crystal Palace playing three at the back. You understand? It have just the other day City play three at the back. Well, that was the starting formation.
Brighton switch at the
Right?
back too.
Right. That was just the starting formation. Me I know because I don't think there's change as the game
Change
going,
that
right?
game,
Yeah.
So, and I really want to agree with Amrim that it's more than just the system, but it's about the players being able to play at a high level, and I can't see it. We were second best at everything today. Second balls. I see this guy, Livramento, went at Maswari. Maswari nicked it off him. And I don't know where Joe Linton come from, but Dallo was there and Joe Linton come and get the ball before Dallo. And these is the kind of things that as a manager, as a fan, you're sitting on it and you're saying, what is this? So I don't want to believe it's done in tools, boy, but I just feel as though, boy.
Today you see the difference between Champions League level football and Europa League level football.
Why we on the panel could see that some of these players ain't good, but the manager can't see it?
But what the
But
manager
he
gonna
have a
do?
choice. Like today, he played Lindelof because he's trying to save Maguire for Thursday.
All right, I can come back to this question after the summer
Play
transfer
Ericsson
window.
because he's trying to save Casemiro for Thursday.
I can come back to this question after the summer transfer window. Then good. Because they got three vital positions we need: a striker, a right back, and a goalkeeper. Three of them positions we need.
I feel we need a left wing back
Dallo
too.
improvement, to be honest.
I feel we need a left wing back too.
The Dallo doing what, Nico?
I find Dallo didn't look bad.
He's settling. Yeah, he's settling.
It's just he get beat on that goal, which is terrible. But going forward, I find he improving going forward.
I think
wait. The fill from Thursday coming out. Nico, let's get one thing straight. Diego Dallo will not be our starting right back for the 2025-2026 season, okay? He will not be.
But
end of story.
But I think we have more important positions to fill. To fill on the team now.
Striker, right back, goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I think left back.
And
Is it
I
left wing
think
back?
Man,
and I think
we got so many left backs.
nah, Reem,
Who?
Reem, oh God, get
So
Doug chance now, buddy.
when end the
Get Doug
season come,
chance now.
when end the season come, we got Harry Amas, we got Dorgu.
I seen Amas ready by the bully Amas today like that. Oh,
But
God,
I just telling you who we're gonna got when the end of the season come. We getting that Terrell Malacia. He might get sell. Harry Amas, Luke Shaw, and Dorgu. We got so many left backs, guys.
It's the Pedro Leon fella.
Pedro Leon fella, not Pedro Leon. I know you're talking about. We from Uruguay or something like that. Left back. We need more left backs, buddy. We don't.
So I think we need that midfielder, of course.
All them name you call it,
Phil.
I ain't hear no quality player you called it. You just
Right,
call us that name.
But still,
better say Mickey Mouse and Tom
Nah,
and Jerry.
oh God, let me strengthen other places now. Let me really strengthen other places now. I don't think we need to strengthen there. I think we need to strengthen the midfield because hopefully if Casemiro leave, Ericsson leave, we need a quality player in the midfield.
And it's the right profiles too. You know, you want players who could look after the ball, players who could progress the football. We need for me, you see those wing back positions. I love it like this. You see that 4 across the middle of the park? You see 4 of them? Yeah. For me, that was the 4 most important people in it.
Yeah.
But you can have a striker who could finish.
No. Yeah, I get that. But what I'm saying is, if we able to get the wingers who could attack, right? Who could go past players like Ahmad, right? And we have 2 Ahmad on the left and the right. And then we have 2 midfielders who mobile one, which is very, very important, right? But also they're able, because I'm watching Tonali, I'm watching Joe Linton, I'm watching Guimaraes, and I'm jealous by.
Yeah.
Because them fellas have everything.
Yeah.
You're getting a rocket from Tonali anywhere on that pitch, and they're troubling the goalkeeper. Them fellas on them, when they had the ball, it's hard to get the ball off of them fellas on them. They could pass the movement, they're getting back, they're putting the body in the line. You know, it's not like you had a trade. It's either you physical or you technical. You're getting all of that from each of them. And this is what we need in our midfield. We do not have that. It's either we get a player who okay technically, or he's supposed to be able to tackle good. And when he don't tackle, he know what to do with the ball. So I saying, you see, if we could sort out that 4 across that midfield there, I think that will cover. I ain't saying that we don't need better 10s and a striker and better defenders and a goalkeeper. I ain't saying no.
Better defenders too.
No, but the point I'm making, is this team will improve significantly if therefore we bring in good quality. Right? We might be able to. We might actually sit down and watch the tree in the back today and the tree in front today and say, but wait now, them fellas could play football. That's so important, I believe, that middle 4 is.
Look at the comments.
Yeah, let me get some comments here, right? So, guys, don't forget to like and share the pod. You know, we want to get more people on the content. You know, blow some steam. You know, Christopher on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying I've become so numb. Yeah. Kristen on the inside as well. Good night to you, man. He's saying we gotta bring back Ole, right? And I see the sarcasm, right? He also saying here all the goals were mistakes. Yeah. Simeon on the inside. Good night, man. He's saying them fellas not good. He's saying James Park had them shook, right? You could see it before the first goal scored.
After Lindelof looking like shaking every time you reach that, you get that ball, boy. I find Lindelof around too long, boy. He's an international player to be getting on, so boy.
Yeah.
You instilling no level of confidence in your team, boy. You just senior centre back for Manchester United. How long Lindelof at United? About 10 years?
Almost.
Too long.
Almost.
Jesus. He looked too shaky, boy.
And he's the one who make the bad pass, and then leave Isaac
free.
free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peter Balcar on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. All right, Christensen here. I really don't know what to expect again. I remember men used to say get rid of the toxic players, and he named some. Go on and get worse, right? We buying young players with potential and we ain't seen anything. Men say Ronaldo was the problem and he gone. As they hear say we curse. They hear say we curse.
Yeah, they answered that. Yeah.
The man must know something that we are knowing all, right?
So,
Because nah. You telling me all, and I was telling JP this earlier, you telling me all we technical players getting injured, and yeah, Hoyland run up, then he ain't getting injured.
nothing.
Jesus Christ. Amar, Kobe, and now Xerxes.
Let's see.
Peter saying here, this game, I don't want Hoyland to get injured, right? Nobody go wish, right? Yeah.
Nah, but all we taking it is just that some players, these players don't get injured, but the players that get injured is the players we actually want on the football field.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Peter saying here, this game showed how we don't have legs, personal and cohesiveness, right? We were quickly swarmed by the Newcastle players like Black Jep. It was disheartening to watch. Imagine you watching your team and you just like,
yeah, boy, tough.
Yeah, and I asked myself today, I saying, when will be the time we go look back at this and say, remember when teams used to beat we back like that, beat we bad and dominate we, boy? And I asked myself, I saying, when that go be, boy? Christensen here, I was planning to go watch a game before the season done, but it's best I save my money. Yeah, boy, you had to go and pay for visa and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
No?
This team can't get none of my money, boy.
You know where's that to spend that kind of money to go and watch Hoyland miscontrol ball? Boy, you hear now?
And miss kicking.
Yeah.
Ball in front of the goal, going wide, dribbling, going wide.
Yeah, and Garnacho running into players. Nah, boy.
But I was trying to watch Garnacho play.
And
But
I can't watch
now. I can't watch Onana, and I can't watch Hoyland. Don't do that.
It's a package, Nico. You can't be picking and choosing. All three of the idiots can be on the same field at the same time, and you're gonna watch all three of them.
Hey, yeah, shit.
Like we get punished, boy.
What?
Hey, Dalot is the only player who beat Newcastle press today, but I think he better as a winger than defender. Right? Peter saying here, I think Bruno is going to leave. We may need a midfielder also. A lot of players will be sold.
Amaranth here going away?
Yeah, I don't think Bruno going anywhere. Right? Simeon Lindelof, like tweak from South Park. From the time I see him, I get nervous.
But I telling you, boy.
Christian saying here, I think Amorim wasn't playing Xerxes because he was nursing an injury. Because look, he pulled up today. His best game as a striker for us, and he pulled up.
Yeah, boy.
As the say curse. Right. Aaron on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining. Jadon Belmont. Hey, JP. Yeah, thanks for joining, buddy. He's saying JB. Right. He said I doubt the club will sign a left wing back since they bought Diego Leon for the first. They bought him for the first team.
Yeah.
I think so.
He's like 17 or something.
But that's Amaranth style, big man. Amaranth is going to buy players between the age of 17 and maybe 21, 22, big man.
Yeah. Sorry, I think it's like I have unsigned it for real. Because he just went back out on loan. He didn't come to the academy.
Yeah, he went back to the club. Okay.
Yeah.
Just player.
Yeah, Milan on the inside. Good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. So we were talking before, right? And I can't remember who had mentioned it. Amorim record looking good right now. Yeah. 21 EPL games, and that man only win 6. Right? Now I know it have more, than surface level, right? But considering the circumstances under, which Amorim came in, and he didn't get much support in the transfer window, change system, yada yada. Is this an understandable and acceptable statistics considering those circumstances? That's the question.
Understandable, maybe. Acceptable, no.
Go
Yes.
ahead.
And I say understandable because we had our team set up for a back four, and he changed it to a back three. And you saw where there were no connections in the team when he came in. And I mean, of recent, you're seeing where there's connection building. You're seeing we playing better. You're not seeing the big hole we have in the midfield. You're seeing we recovering better. You're seeing um, at points we are attacking better. The team is looking better. But again, this team isn't built for the system that we playing. So it's understandable. Acceptable? No, because still we are Manchester United. You know, the amount of money we would have spent, even if it's not for this system, on players, the coach not getting the best out of the players that he has. And because of that, it is not acceptable where we are. And I mean, and yes, he will get a free pass till the end of the season, and he will definitely be judged more harshly next season.
Boy, I am in terms of, when most teams get a new manager, they go through like a purple patch. That wasn't us. And part of me is glad for it, but part of me just wish that maybe we had gone on like a 7 or 8 game winning streak with Ruben Amorim, but that didn't happen. But it kind of exposes the players, right? Now, we can come on this podcast week after week after week and talk the exact same thing. But if nothing happens in the summer, if nothing happens within the first, let's say, 5 to 10 games of next season, you got to start asking questions on the manager. You have to. Because at the end of the day, you came in to implement a system. Fair enough, right? Your job right now is to find players who are not only going to listen to you for just 1 game or 2 games, but for an entire season. An entire season, if you include all cup competitions, is 50 plus games. That's the sign of a great player, but an average player or a below average player is going to play for you, Ruben Amorim, for 1 or 2 games and then down tools for you, and then talk about training practices are too intense, and all of a sudden they get in, they're having an attitude on the pitch and all this BS, right? So, is it understandable? To some extent, yes and no, because some of these players are professional players that play first team for the country. But when it comes to Manchester United, they just play a different style or have a different mentality towards this club, right? And these are the type of players we don't need at Manchester United. I'd rather Ruben Amorim bring in some of these youngsters and train them the way he wants them, teach them this philosophy. And if we start out with a great style of play, but we're losing, I can kind of get behind that because that's how Liverpool and Klopp started out, right? But if we got the same idiots come next season and they're doing the same foolishness from this season here, then you gotta start questioning Ruben Amorim. At the end of the day, you as a manager, you must not let these players dig your grave. Okay? You must make your own mistakes in terms of if it doesn't work out, fine. But if you keep on making these mistakes and you don't rectify the mistakes, then you're digging your own grave, right? I'll say more later on.
Um, Understandable to an extent because of the position that he would have inherited the club in. And knowing the system he was playing, he didn't get back to the transfer market in January to try and make any additions to the style that he wants to play. So to an extent, it is understandable. But on several occasions on the spot I mentioned the sign of a great manager or coach is adaptability. And I still feel like for it to be acceptable, it had to be that he adapted to the players and they didn't take to his adapted. But he hasn't done that. He hasn't really adapted his style to suit the players. So he could have still gone with his back three, but I feel like he had to find a way for it to work with the players that he had. Because football is a results business. And you're not the manager of Everton who just trying to survive. You're the manager of Manchester United, where you expect to be competing for European places. So I don't think it's acceptable where we are at because we actually worse off than where Ten Hag left us. We were 12th when Ten Hag left. We were 4 points off the top four when Ten Hag left. We actually thought that Amram could come and turn it around. Some of us here, we thought he could come and turn it around and we could actually qualify for Champions League without having to put all the eggs in Europa League basket. We were 4 points off. Now we are 14th and destined to have our worst ever points tally in a Premier League season. So that is totally unacceptable. Amram has been in the job 6 months. And can we have seen glimpses, we have seen certain things improving. Has it been enough? That's a question we had to ask. Has it been enough for 6 months? Has he been able to come in and stamp enough of an authority on these players on the team? Has he been able to adapt enough within this time frame to say that is acceptable? And I think the answer to that is no. It's totally unacceptable. And that's why I'm saying, that's what I was saying earlier. I think he himself has a lot of questions to answer. He has to look at himself too. I am not excusing the players, I am not saying I'm out, but I am saying he has to examine himself because his job is to get the best out of the players that he has. If what you want to do is not suiting the players that you had to be able to do something more because you cannot survive as a manager in football with one style your entire career. Because at some point the system going to get figured out and people will learn how to beat it. Because you see what happened with City. And what Pep has done, he changed his style from Barca to Bayern to City. And what Pep going to do now is he going to adapt again and get his team back playing on how he want them to play. You have to be able to adapt. Fergie used to do that too. Fergie used to adapt to the times. He would change up. We had a fluid front three at a point in time. And Fergie used to like to play two on top. So you have to be able to change to suit what you have. And that is what I want to see from a manager at Manchester United. It can't be that you're stubborn and this is what I want to do, so I'm doing this. You have to be able to see what is before you and be able to use your footballing brain to make it work for you as
Um, if there's one thing that I want to kind of highlight, and this will be, under the understandable kind of, umbrella, is the fact that um he didn't get no kind of backing in the transfer. He came in before a window opened. And because of the state of the club from a financial point of view, he had to take a serious hit, right? He had to let Rashford, Anthony, and this guy, what's his name?
Malasia.
Malasia go. And as much as they were in their little rut, they were still bodies that could have done something for us, right? And what you would have expected that at least he would have get some reinforcement, and that didn't happen, right? And I want to disagree slightly with something you say, JP, in terms of Amorim not adapting. I think he is, and I made mention of it last part with Garnacho, because I remember he was demanding Garnacho to play more inside, but then he realized Garnacho can't do that, so he started to utilize what will get the best out of Garnacho. That's why you're seeing Garnacho more running channels and doing whatever he doing, and we're seeing a better Garnacho, if I could put it like that, or a more comfortable Garnacho, right? So I see in areas where the manager tweaking things and figuring things out. My issue with Amorim is he changing things in the wrong times. You had mentioned before, we saw this thing with working before international break, right? We won an 8-game unbeaten run. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But I think that's the stat. Seven, right?
7.
And in that unbeaten run, it had some wins and draws. To come now and in 4 or 5, we have no wins and 2 draws, because you came right after the international break and changed what was working.
Yeah.
And that is the issue that I have with the manager right now, because I'm thinking you found something that was working. You was getting more productivity from Garnacho on the right. You had Xerxes there you needed that ball retention in the middle of the park.
And you had Bruno functional and effective as well. Bruno was on fire.
Yeah,
Bruno
you
was
had him
scoring
deep.
or assisting every single game.
From the deeper position.
From deep.
Yes.
You understand? And you have Hoyland, as poorly as Hoyland was performing, he was still sort of kind of filling out a little function in terms of occupying defenders, had him running here or there.
Starting to look a little better. You were starting to look a little better, and he actually scored.
Yeah. And then you went from that now to change up everything. You want to play, two sixes, of which one leg's gone. The other one, again, when he beat a man, when he take a ball,
he know what to do.
He know what to do with the ball. So we're losing that ability in midfield to receive the ball and turn in an attacking direction. So this is the issue I have with Amorim. He land on something that work and then he changed it. And I'll go even further. Let me go even further back. Right? There was the game against Everton when he had played Amar, Rashford, and Xerxes. And the manager come out and say, well, yeah, he wasn't too pleased with certain things, whatever. And I respect that. But we saw something working. Why we never saw that again? And listen, that you say, okay, so this worked, let me try again. Because remember, you at that stage where you're figuring things out. You're new in the team, so you're looking for something that's working to see how you could fit it until, right? Yes, we still maintaining your shape, 3 at the back, 4 in the middle, wherever. But I land on something here, let me see. And we never saw Amar, Rashford, and Xerxes again.
Yeah.
So that Xerxes pretend, I think he messed up with not trying that back.
Yeah.
I think that was working very good.
Look, and let me just give one more example, right? The Champions League game against FCSB, Kobe come in the 10 and Kobe had a master class. Where you do the next game? They put Kobe in the 9 in our false 9.
Yeah.
So these are the issues I have with Amorim. This is why I think we sitting down here with 21 games and 6 wins because of those kind of decisions, right? Because you land on something that could work and you stop it because you have an idea in your head. And that is what I have with the manager.
I know it's part of it's the worst thing. If you list these 6 teams that we beat, is real easy sides. It's sides that we supposed to be.
Team like below we. Yeah, below we.
We beat City. You didn't beat City?
Well, City is one of them. That's probably the only big thing we beat. Other than that,
And then,
is Southampton.
but then, yeah. But then when you watch the way we play against Liverpool and City in them games, Phil, that was nice. Normal Man United, how we just play, we just sit back and counter.
And we barely scraped by Southampton, and Southampton were running at us, boy. So
Exactly.
I had to take a Amad Diallo hat trick, what, in 10 minutes or 15 minutes to salvage a 3 points. Lord, boy.
Let me just get some comments quick, guys, and then we can move on. Kristen saying here, Halloween 14th, 3 points ahead of 16th. Thank God the relegation side. Yeah, boy. I mean, I think we're safer, but boy, oh boy.
We could finish 17th. I think we treat as 17th. We could
Spurs.
I think are we playing Wolves soon just now? I think
we are. I think we are Bournemouth and then Wolves. And no, we next. Oh, okay.
Let me check.
We really looking like we getting up in that 17th, boy.
Yeah, but
that's Spurs.
No, and then too, watch me. I mean, Kobe come back, which is good, you know. And Kobe look like he need minutes. Kobe, I find Kobe look real rusty today, right? And well, hopefully Ahmad go be back. I don't know how far along Ahmad is, right? But I mean, without Kobe and Ahmad, we're looking at a real poor team there to try to not finish 17th. You know?
Spurs.
Yeah, boy. Christian saying I did. Wolves after Leon.
Yeah.
Okay. Christian saying here, I disagree with JP as well. Ten Hag's style was working when he now came and he adapted to his players and he came third, won a cup. Next season, when he went back to his style, we was like, we went to rubbish, right? Amorim sticking to his style and his team actually improving from when he just came in, all right? Hopefully, with a proper preseason and some signings, we will look better.
I hope so.
Yeah. Then Brent on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining.
Night.
All right. Because in the Ream is Europa, we play, not Champions League. All right.
Yeah, they say Champions League when we use FC, wherever in Champions League.
Okay. My bad. All right. Then be saying here, I can't even talk when men talking football. Yeah, boy. Because I just stay quiet in the corner and eat your lunch, boy, you know?
Yeah.
So Nicole had mentioned that this season is like a free pass, right? And I want to know how much Ole think that notion, even though he might say it, how much it affects Amorim, right? Knowing that, hey, whoever, right? Just don't get relegated. But what are some reasonable expectations for Amorim, seeing that he has gotten this time to stink out the joint, right? What are reasonable expectations for Amorim next season?
Top 6.
We go next season already, Reem?
Yeah, you want to talk about the game?
We have to.
You want to talk about the game today?
No, I talk about Leon. Let's talk about the goalkeeper for Leon. Let me talk about that.
I want to talk about but ban that game today, boy.
Hey.
You know, Amorim had a flip our coin for that goalkeeper for Thursday.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, wherever it lands. No, but no, on a real though. Last pod, it was unanimous by and there, right? Yeah. But after today, boy,
I got 4 goals. I got 4 goals for Party, boy.
Because either way, one of them making a mistake. But you bring back Unana. Because Bandera, I honestly, what Bandera do good today, but
the only positive is
you make a double save. You make a kind of double save.
The only
he touch and then he dive back and he save.
Yeah, he gets up, he get back up pass. So
the only positive I can take from this experience of us knowing Bandera starting off shady in his first match and then he progressing in the following matches because he played crap in Spurs, but then he showed up versus Arsenal and whoever we played
Next
afterwards.
Europa
Right?
League game.
Yeah. So if that is the trajectory that Binder is taking and he performs well in the Lyon game, perfect.
That's too much of a risk I feel, but
It's a big risk.
that's too
It's a
risky,
big
but
risk. Yeah.
So put it
I
on Nana
mean, yeah,
and put it on Nana and goals is not a risk then.
but whether
I
you put
always
Heat
a
near,
risk.
whether you put Tom Heat
I-
near.
Boy, you know what you do? Let me put both of them in goal then.
Hey, what John O'Shea doing, mate? You bring back John O'Shea back here.
Or Rio Ferdinand.
Thomas
No, Olia,
Thomas
it's real
Kucha or
bad.
something like that, man.
It's real bad.
Nah, boy, it can't be so bad, boy.
You telling me we are no good goalkeepers, boy?
Not one of them.
Hey,
And
I think
Russia,
Kovac,
and we
I think
sell-
Kovac starting
we
out
sell
in
Kovac.
Germany.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kovar got buy back clause, yeah.
Yeah, they get arrested for war crimes on it.
I'm telling you, no boy. Can I go pay for this boy? I feel he will go in hell, you know. No boy, you leave we in this state, boy, where we have Bayern there and Onana, boy.
Yeah.
I tell you, I sure, I'm saying down, you know how he just be when he's saying that he just rubbing his hands so thinking, well, who can keep
Yeah,
who can
Yeah.
keep
I tell you.
against Leon?
Yeah.
Because he watching he claimed that he assistant the goalkeeping coach. Oh, but you see how he like Bandy? One short pass and not going through his leg. He can't stop that. That man like so nice so in a dog. He ain't got nothing for me. That man between a rock and a hard place for goalkeepers, boy.
What?
Yeah.
So for me, I've been honest with you. Whoever starts, whoever. Right? Because I don't want another. Yeah, I don't want another. And I don't want Bayern Daddy. And I don't want Tom Heaton then either. Right? So whoever I'm on this side, you have a free hit. Whoever.
Yeah, the goalkeepers are free hit. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I thinking Bayern they will come in and in the back of your head, if you're competitive now, boy,
Yeah.
you're gonna know there's more chance, there's more opportunity here. There's my final, there's my cup final.
This was
I'm gonna grab this with two.
You know, you want to know the best part? You want to know the best part? Friday's a bank holiday, so I ain't gonna go to work the next day. I'm so glad, boy.
Like Good Friday in China, how is it too?
Yeah.
Exactly. So whatever shit we do on Thursday night, I can just sleep it off the Friday morning. So.
I went you down with Turan. Then we got the easy plate.
You're right, boy.
So it doesn't matter, fella. It doesn't matter, right? Whoever I can be like, as Christopher say, I just gonna be no. When I read that team sheet, I just gonna see Bayern there Onana, and I'm like, wherever, yes, wherever. You know?
And Bruno gets up today, yeah.
Yeah, well, I
No,
mean,
that makes sense.
yeah. At that point, Amram didn't see the sense keeping Bruno on to put more minutes in them legs.
I think Ganacho come off early Tuesday. No, Ganacho started.
He started, yeah.
But I think listening to Amram after the game, he was kind of alluding to around the 60th minute mark to make changes, right? But when that had happened, when Xerxes pull up, it kind of forced him into making the changes one time to avoid anything, because you know it's always saying where's the worst that could happen when it happened, and that's what happened with Xerxes, because I think he was
Murphy's
about to make Murphy's, and I think he was about to take off them players, and that command happened. You know, so that real messed up. That it's we blight all here. You know, we blight.
And we getting Hoyland starting up top.
Jesus Christ. Gideon Bowen on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying, I think the coach is trying to justify buying new players by setting up his team for. I don't think so. I don't think it's after. I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, but it's a good strategic move, could I just say, right? Let me just say, if he had men playing off the pack, right? But he know they're not good enough, then Ratcliffe and them could say, Jet, these fellas playing. Right? I know we can't serve really just one player and five.
Go ahead, JP.
The flip side to that is they might look at it as, remember last season, Ten Hag, we finished 8th. We were not looking good in the league. We win the FA Cup and they give him grace.
Yeah.
So it can end up being that could work against him because
Yeah.
they might be like, well, we don't want to invest too heavily in this manager because if the team playing so bad, we don't want to invest too heavily in it.
Wow.
So it could work out that way too.
True.
But if
But
we
then
win the FA Cup, if
then
we win
that
if we win the Europe if we win the Europa League, then they might say, okay, well, this manager is capable
No.
of getting something out of the players. That we give him some money.
No,
to
but that's
spend on
criminal.
players.
No, but that's criminal. That's saying that criminal. Because the man that already say that here what he wanna come at the end of the season.
Yeah.
You bring him early, didn't back him, and then you say here what how your team playing, me and you know players. no, wait
Maybe, no, but the thing is, after
Wait,
the
wait,
shittiness
that-
to do with Ten Hag, after the foolishness to do with Ten Hag, now when the summer come, you feel them and go and sit down and really think, we had a
Nah,
what we
no,
do
they had to
last
back him.
season.
No, they had no choice. They had to back him.
I tell you, if they do back
They had to go down
Amorim,
guys.
if they do back Amorim not showing up for preseason. He gonna do what Ronaldo do, right? He ain't
Yeah.
coming. He's son
No,
sick.
it's true.
No, I'm telling you. But my thing is this, I mean, and I know earlier it had the TFED business and whatever, but the way how I listen to Radcliffe talk in terms of where he wanted the team to be, and I don't think he need to do anything to force Ineos to back him. I think they know where the team is at.
Yeah.
I think Wilcox and Barada and the next guy, I think they know where the team is at and where the team needs to be. So whether Amorim play the same team for the rest of the season or he mix it up or whatever, I think more than Amorim is those players, those execs want the club to go back to being successful and winning trophies and stuff like that. So regardless, they're going to invest in the club. Radcliffe call out players. He say players not good and they're getting too much money. You understand? So he aware.
Yeah.
And I think
sure, he aware.
moves will be made, without Amorim having to do nothing to try to hoodwink. No, he don't do nothing because I don't know that them upstairs don't know what had to happen.
Yeah.
And who had to go, and we had to get reinforcement. So that's just my take on it.
The squad had to improve regardless. The squad
Yeah.
had to improve.
Yeah, for sure.
If it was Glazers in control of this aspect of the thing,
Yeah,
then
football
we could have
operation.
we'd have be frightened. We could have feel we could have come and just sign 2 big players, put them on mad wages, and that would have fixed it, like what I've been doing over the past couple of years. Gideon also saying here, Onana rubbing off on Bayern there. Right? 2 of them rubbing off each other. They're very good.
How much of Bayern they receive, so we don't even know how good he actually is.
Yeah.
If he good.
Christian saying here now, but that defense he played today was shaky, and them fellas keep passing back and passing.
It's only take one man to make a whole defense look shaky,
Yeah. Lindelof was the we play.
Boy, I tell you, Lindelof, real panic station, boy.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was real bad. Well, let make this guy Amas debut.
Nah, boy, that team was too rough for him.
It was too much for him. But I don't think I don't think he they say a train the deep and see if he was sink or swim. I don't think he sink.
Nice.
He didn't think because he didn't play the game that I remember I want him to play. Because I guess Newcastle would have forced them to play that way because they put a lot of pressure on him. Because he couldn't play the ball forward, he couldn't make a forward pass. If he made a forward pass, it would be one, and he didn't make a run forward either.
But will you think Nico would have been the instructions from the manager, considering the opponent, considering this is a young player and his debut against a very, very tough team in a heavily rotated team? Will you think Amorim would have asked you to run along the line and be true 10 men and keep going forward? I think it was to
No.
keep the game simple, keep it simple.
No, keep it simple, but at the end of the day, he has a quality cross on him as well. He is good in the attacking areas. But for him to be good, that means the midfield had to be good.
Right.
And that midfield today wasn't good.
Right.
I mean, in comparison with Newcastle midfield and how they were outrunning all the midfielders we had. Let me say if we had quality midfielders on that ball where Amas could get forward and receive a pass, we might have seen something, but that didn't happen.
There's
That-
just
that-
me, right? I am a firm believer that any Man United youngster who's looking to make their debut, always put them to make their debut at Old Trafford. That's just me, right?
Yeah.
To be making your debut at St. James Park of all places, nah. That's like they got certain, like you make your debut against certain clubs, you can either sink or swim, right? You don't want to make your debut away to like a Stoke or like to the same Newcastle here or whatever.
Sometimes it has something you can't avoid, right?
Yeah.
But again, I think Amas didn't do himself any bad. I think he held his own.
But
And I
the
think
coach wouldn't trust him to give him another game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think he held his own defensively. I think he did well, right?
Yeah.
And if you were to try to point out Amas without, as Nico was saying just now, without identifying the breakdown in him being able to go forward in that weak midfield, then you have an agenda, you know. But I think he was on Murphy right through. He was always there, you know. And people, I see people blaming him for the second goal. I was actually impressed that he committed, because you don't know what was behind you. And if he had stood on his foot, like we can see somebody else coming behind him waiting to pipe, he put his body in the line.
I can see, but I guess
My issue is Lindelof and Mazwari. They stood there and nobody was watching Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can see why people may blame the wing backs for that second goal, because Dalot got beaten too easily there. He was so naive. But Amas wasn't aware of who was behind him in terms of like who was gonna cross, who was gonna send the ball.
How near he was, how far he was, yeah.
Right? So I can see why fans may think that Amas for some percentage was to blame for that like second goal, right? So
and I blaming Dalot for that wholesale. You can't get
eaten. No.
Tell you guys, we need a right back come next season, boy.
Don't worry, Amade and Dalot. Well, hear this, right? I can say something real controversial, right? And I think I have reason.
Oh Jesus.
I have reason. But I tell you next season, Amad will be playing right wing back, and Dalot can be playing left wing back.
No, I don't say that.
No.
I'm telling you.
Nah, don't say that.
JP,
Don't
I'm
say
telling
that.
you. No, let me tell you why.
I seen that happen. I'm not saying that happen.
Let me tell you why.
They lost.
No.
Yeah,
Let me tell you why.
No.
Let me tell you why. I could tell you why.
No.
Dalot is trusted by the manager. I want to understand how important having players in the field where you trust. Right? Secondly, I've been honest with all you. Dorgu ain't saying nothing for me right now.
Go, you gotta get Dogu time. There's rest Dogu for the rest of the season now.
I tell you, Nico. When I tell you a player, good, we'll just come back full circle. You know?
Hey, let me get Dogu till next season still. And I agree with you, yes, we'll come back full circle. But let me rest Dogu until next season now. I'm probably being too critical at Dogu, boy.
I give it Dogu a couple more games next season.
What I'm saying, right now, how it's looking, right? Dorgu got to build himself into the team, which I think is fair, should be fair to him, you know.
Because he said he was Xerxes, right? Oh God, Xerxes, take
No.
what?
Yeah,
Xerxes
but
looking
no,
better now.
but
And Xerxes still had more time than Dogu had so far.
Correct.
but
So,
even with
so let
Xerxes,
me
he was still
let me give him a little time.
well,
No, you have to say that with Xerxes. Dream, don't try that. You see, I want you to give away your jersey and all kind of thing. You're looking to sell your Xerxes jersey and all that. Don't try that. Right? So let me give him till next season.
Yeah,
But I still think if it is just say a player the manager trusts, then Dallo will continue playing the right wing back and Ahmad will play the 10.
boy.
What's your definition of trust though?
Availability.
And he
That's
played
it.
him every single night, every game.
Yeah,
He trusts him.
And the ability to carry out the manager's
the
plan.
manager's instructions, yeah, and to have that person who you have a good trust relationship with on the field now, boy. You need that. I hear plenty managers talk about that. You know, that's why even, you know, in the days when we used to complain why schools and gigs still playing and Fergie just used to have them there on the field.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. You trust Dallo?
It's not about me. The manager trusts him. The manager trusts him.
But you're still, as a fan, you're still entitled to an opinion. As
No,
a Manchester United fan?
I don't know my opinion on that. What I said is what I feel will happen, not what I want to.
Right.
Fair
If it
enough.
was up to me, I would have signed Kirkes from Walmart, like who I wanted all the time. But we went and buy Dogu.
But is he a left back?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dogu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You know?
he want to go Liverpool. Most like he in Liverpool.
Yeah, well, that will be at, right? That will be at. It's unfortunate. Christian saying here we're supposed to go for Mendes from PSG. Who
That
play
wasn't
under Amorim.
happening.
That was never
That
happened.
wasn't happening.
Never happened. Never.
Happened.
That was he.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that was he. That was their normal agent. Play to get new contract and thing. Hello, how much time people use my name by?
Sergio Ramos did it back in the day.
Yeah.
Contract.
All them top players do that.
Them saying he like Dogu. Yeah, Nico too.
You know, give him no. What I'm saying is give him time. He's too quick to write off.
Yeah.
I give him Dogu till next season.
I give it,
Yeah.
I give
No,
it.
but what's saying? No, what I'm saying, right? It's a some player. It is just no now, boy. It is just no.
No,
right?
no.
I know right now, Dogu.
Yeah,
I
they
know
will
it's
write
not
him off.
Dogu.
They will write him off.
But
Because you know why? So you know why? I saw the quality he has when he played for Denmark, and it's real quality.
Yes.
It's real quality. So it's just to bring that quality to Manchester United.
So this may sound kind of funny, and a lot of men didn't believe me, but I said before we signed, well, when we signed Onana, I was excited. But in a preseason game, Onana get chipped from halfway line. And I said, wait, what the hell? This is the same Onana. And the way the man fumbled and fell down into the net. I felt so embarrassed as a Manchester United. I said, I don't know if this guy gonna work out.
Nah, that's not when I turn on Onana. You know? When I turn on Onana, it's that Champions League season. You know?
Oh,
Yeah, but
That's when I see. I said, wait now.
That was the writing on the wall, boy.
I said, nah. You know,
That man single-handedly.
What I want from a wing back, you see what Ahmad giving us on the right hand side, the ability to go at players. You know, that is what I wanted from my wing backs, that kind of threat. But I'm not getting it from Dogu. The most you'll get from Dogu is a ball in behind over the top, and he'll get a nice cross, he'll whip in something proper, right? And while that's a good quality, and need a little X factor about you in terms of you're on the ball and you're able to go at players. And I've never seen Dogu.
Kirkes do that to him.
What?
Kirkes do that players.
One to you, buddy? You
I
don't
don't see that.
He
beat them players? No,
Watch
Kirkes versus Spurs the last time Bournemouth played Spurs, boy. My man rip Spurs, buddy. Rip.
Wow.
And he quick.
So he played like a number 10?
No. Not the Ahmad type.
Oh, I thought that what you were saying. Because
No. Yes. But he willing to take players on. He will go at players. Dorgu more of the pass 1-2s kind of traditional kind of, like how kind of traditional wingers used to play.
Yeah.
You get the ball inside, you get back and you swing it in. I always get from Dorgu a little bit. We go see,
So
right?
he's more left back. So he's more left back and a left wing back then.
But the profile saying he's a wing back more than a left back. So I don't
Correct.
I don't know that way. We go see. Right? Them saying here, I think he built for that position. We have that position 1. We have a more complete back three. When we have a more complete back three, okay. He's saying here we need a right back or a wing back, right? A right wing back.
Correct.
Christian saying here, Dorgu play wing for Denmark and Nico, not wing back. I think it was a wing back. I think it was
The
wing back.
Well, at least when they played Portugal the last game, he played in a wing back position.
Wing back, yeah, correct.
And he had an excellent game.
Yeah, no, he did.
He assists Ericsson for one of the goals, no?
Yeah.
And
he assisted Hoyland for that chance against Leon, where Hoyland just dribbled the ball wide.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
But
if you could be laying
Thursday.
Yeah, if you could be laying chances for players, let me say 1 or 2 chances per game, clear like that, then to me, you have a solid game. I mean, I could be wrong.
All right. We last talking point, fellas. With all that going on, and I mean, JP had mentioned, the whole momentum and confidence required to go into important games is go a long way. Then we looking at the performance today, the result today, the loss of a player. Tuesday, how much shall they fancy we chances in the second leg? Because Leon beat up Auxerre 3-1 today. So they come in confident. They saw some of the frailties of our team in the first leg. So it don't have much. Sometimes when you play that team for the first time, you try to figure out, the strengths and the weaknesses of the team, some of the players, that kind of. But they would be a little more familiar with who they're going to face today. And yes, so would we. But I mean, we coming off some real tough, a tough result and some difficult circumstances as opposed to Leon, right? How will you fancy the chances in the second leg?
Of recent, our home form. What has been our home form of recent? I think we have been very solid at home of recent. I think that even in the Europa League, we have been very solid at home, and I think we would continue that way.
We're still undefeated in Europe, yeah.
Yeah. So, and even the last few games we've been in the Premier League, I think we have been solid at home. We have been better at home. So, I think that will continue. Right? I think as much as Leon huffed and puffed, I think the only time when they score is when they hit the target. You know what I mean? And the only 2 chances they got, they scored. And we had more than enough chances to score more than the 2 goals that we scored. As much as they would have played, maybe had more possession of the ball. I think we have enough to go through. Maybe we are comfortably go through. I think we have enough to go to the next stage.
Who will score?
Goal scorers, we had one boy. I gotta give Bruno Fernandes. I mean, Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes and Garnacho. Garnacho.
A turkey own goal. That make my day. Boy.
2-0, 2-1, 2-1.
Will Delit be back for that game?
Nope.
Oh, geez.
That way you rest Maguire.
Maguire hasn't been too bad in the defense. He has something of a leadership quality in him, but not the leadership qualities I'm looking for per se. Boy, I'm hoping that the Man United that show up versus Sociedad show up, man. That's the Man United I want to see. A scoreline. I taking a 1-0. I taking a 1-0 because I kind of numb. This is the only competition we have to play for, And yeah, 1-0. Who will score? Come on, I was just say Bruno Fernandes as well, because he's the only person that looking to actually hit the target. So yeah.
Um, I don't know this, but I know these fellas would turn up if they view it as a big game. Somehow they know to play when it's a big game. So I'm hoping that they will go into that kind of mentality. I think 2-1 because the error is creeping back into our game. So I expected an error for them to score, but I feel like we will take it 2-1. If it draw, I don't think we could survive penalties. So
Who in goal? Who in goal for penalties, JB?
That's what I'm saying. So we can't afford to draw. We had a win into the 90.
I got to add another prediction. If the score is still 0-0 after 90 minutes and still 0-0 after 120 minutes, I will predict that I will be turning off my TV. That is what will happen. And Onana is in goal. This only went one way, Bobby. Sorry.
Hey, I just saying, imagine they had a meltdown and Onana, and they're going to beg him now. It's starting Tuesday.
Imagine the only trophy. Imagine the only trophy that we got to play for this season is in Onana's hands, boy.
That's it. Because I may be surprised that I'm down on Onana.
Yeah.
For Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then drop him. And then to go down on your knees.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hey.
I ain't gonna lie, a fire, and this will not happen. But if this was to happen, I would literally sack Ruben Amorim. If Binder is in goal and it's 0-0 or 1-1, 2-2, whatever, the game is drawing, and Binder is in goal. But let's say Onana's on the bench, and we gotta go to penalties, and Ruben Amorim bring on Onana. I will sack Amorim.
No, he won't do that. He won't do that.
I know it will never happen, but if this guy has to do that, I would just sack him. I said, don't go home. I would drive you straight to Portugal, big man. Jesus Christ, boy.
It is one thing I noticed, right? Is and this is when you could tell that team's doing the homework on your team now, on United. Our defenders, always late to react to second balls, right? And
defenders, midfielders, everybody.
Yeah. But even Onana with his shorthand, them gonna shoot at goal and have players reacting in that box.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I seen it all. They're gonna try the hand at goal, and they're just gonna have players waiting to react. So whether the players running late to avoid getting caught offside, just to react to Onana putting the ball right on the platter. You understand?
What a
let me
tactic.
see. No, let me see.
Good.
Let me see because that is how we concede. And I watch back the highlights for that first game, and I tell myself, I watch how Onana hand position. He was pushing that ball right if he touches it, and our man was ready to slap that in her. Yeah, that's how I should. Yeah, and Leon Man was right there to slap us inside our net because Onana was pushing that ball right
there. Yeah.
So I think we will win, right? I think we will advance, right? In regular time. I don't think it's going to penalties. I think we will advance. But to say we're going to have a clean sheet when them going to come with a clear strategy that is one of our Achilles heel, we're going to concede.
Nah, Leon smell blood, boy.
Yeah.
We just happening to be wearing red on that day as well, too. So,
and I watching some of the chances Leon get. If they were just a little better, the one Tolisso get, the one Lacazette get, them things scary, boy. Them things
Yeah.
real scary. Them things scary. So let me just hope that them boy and them are gonna be throwing the body all over the place without having somebody to back them and react. And I think we should be fine. I think we should be fine. You know, we get some score predictions for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think we will concede, but I feel we go win 3-1.
We also did a prediction for who in goal as well, or
Nah, boy. Nah.
I tell you, whoever they, because
Nah, but by like he just strip off, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch short fruits, boy. Scary,
and
boy.
he kicking poor too, boy. He kicking,
Yeah, boy. Scary, boy. Nah, boy.
poor,
Hey.
kicking real poor.
Jeez, man. What would you deserve this, boy?
I just hope it stops here, and this summer I'll be going to see some real good things and upward from them. That's the hope. You know, Christensen here, this Europa League, they're for the taking. Right? Spurs is really the only strong side left. Although I feel
I'm not
Spurs
saying
is
that.
the
I'm not
Spurs is the
saying
only
that.
strong side. Athletic Bilbao playing real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And watch my other Rangers with 10 men hold them to 0-0.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you even feel Rangers if them advances gonna be a walk
Yeah.
in the park either?
Exactly.
This team, Bodo Glimt, who we beat in
Yeah.
the group.
Yeah, them leading Lazio.
Yeah.
2-0.
And they knock out. Who they knock out in the round before? They weren't supposed to. People wasn't checking them to win, and they knocked that team out.
Yeah.
Can't remember who they play, right? And then Eintracht Frankfurt. So Christian, bro, don't feel there's all that,
Yeah.
right? Don't feel there's all that. Them they saying here, I won't be shocked if Matic says something again about. Oh no.
I wouldn't be shocked if Matic play and score, man.
do it. I want Matic to say something, and I want Onat if you respond to Matic, and boy, you're a real idiot, boy. Don't let me revisit Thursday night again.
Do you talking on the pitch?
Exactly.
Correct.
All right. Christian, I remember when we had Romero as we back up.
Yeah.
The second string used to keep clean sheet nearly every game he played. Imagine our second string could start for the most teams back then. Yeah, boy. We beat Rangers twice in the group stage.
Twice is once we played them.
Yeah, we played them once.
It's funny. I find your stats real off, dog.
Yeah.
But not only that, it's always the next game that matters, eh?
Yeah.
And football cup competition, knockout competition is a real weird thing. You can't use past games to
Yeah.
you know. And Rangers remember Rangers and the new manager bounce too, eh?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, guys, I think we're at the end of the pod. I'm here. All right, let me get Christian commentation. Frankfurt gets away from Spurs. Right, I watched that game on TV and Man U game on my tablet. It's slow. Okay. Yeah. So guys, we was another day at the office that and I mean watching the press conferences after Amrim had to, you could see he was annoyed, but it's part of it, you know, because they asked him the hard questions and he just had to try to, you know, shake and remain, you know, focused on just what the politically correct thing is to say, you know, we focus on the next game, you know, but the pressure is mounting, you know, and I think if we get eliminated from the Europa League on Thursday, God forbid, he going to be in some serious, he will be under serious pressure, right? Because we banking our season right now on this. And if we get knocked out, then we have absolutely nothing to play for and we have nothing to show for over the 6 months.
I don't feel that you're under any enormous pressure.
No, I mean, perhaps not from the board, right? But you have to recognize who you're representing, the expectations. As bad as we are, there's expectations to win games. There's expectations to play better, and you have to keep answering questions like these, right, for the next 7-8 games. And I'm not easy, Nico. Especially when a lot of the questions questioning your ability to as a manager to get results and to turn things around. You know, what gives you the thought that you could do this, you could do better next season? You understand the kind of questions they're asking me, man? So this is a real important game for we come Thursday. Nobody could downplay that as far as I'm concerned.
Because even if we win against Leon, whoever we play next, like we can say the same thing, right?
And that is the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
Until he lift up that trophy, that's the nature of the beast. He have to win. Because we banking everything on Europa League right now. So and the thing about it is it might give him some respite, even if like we say we lost the next game in the EPL, you know. Even if we finish 17th, we in a final, we win the Europa League. You understand?
Yeah, I find it risky to put eggs in one basket, boy. But
it
like,
is.
That would be it. That would be it.
That's what Jose did in 2017, no?
But a way better squad.
It don't matter. We can't. Jose bank everything on the Europa League final. We beat Ajax, so.
Who wasn't go for Ajax?
Oh Jesus, you're right.
Yeah. Anyway, fellas, I think we are at the end of the pod. All right, guys, thanks again for the comments, the likes. Don't forget to like and share. The interaction. It'll be good to come on. Just just get things off your chest now, boy. Because I'm telling you, if you try to keep this in home without this avenue to to vent and to talk and it could be tough. It could be rough. So Nico, JP, Phil, it was nice. Those in the comments. Again, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, on our YouTube channel. All right, and we'll Facebook as well, so you can like that and follow as well. We do appreciate it. So guys, we're gonna be here again on Thursday to review the Leon game. We hope we will be advancing to the next round, to the semi-finals of the Europa League. All right. So have a good one, fellas. See you on the next one. Good night.
Night.